For real. Say the TV stand for tracks and vocals. You know this is easier than 1, 2, 3. You are now tuned in to Jus Swagg TV.
Dj Swagg, aka you know who I am, man. Welcome back to another episode of The Block. I am sitting here with international award-winning screenwriter, screenplay actress. I'm talking about she do everything from drop jewels to gems and game and information, man. It is Laura Poindexter in the building with me. Thank you so much for being here. Oh my God. Yes, man. It is dope having you here.
Finally made it.
Finally, y'all, I ain't gonna tell y'all this long, drawn-out story of how we just got here to this point to be able to do this interview. But what I will say, it's been well worth it. And I will say that, you know, you being a GOAT in the game, you being able to do a lot of things you do in the game.
I like
people love being able to hear from you and talk to you. So let me ask you this. Let's go ahead and jump right in.
New York, Harlem, 152nd Street between Amsterdam and Broadway, son.
What was it like growing up there?
Damn, man, it was everything. New York creates this melting pot, and then you have these pockets. So you have Spanish Harlem, and you have Jewtown, and you have Italians. But Harlem, man, is like where you feel safe. Is where you get everything you need to go back out and face the rest of New York. So it was dope growing up there.
Were you like one of those bad kids in the neighborhood that you bothered a lot of people? Were you the person that everybody wanted to go outside with? Like, what type of person were you as a kid?
Well, in Harlem, in most black communities, not just Harlem, is communities.
Did you grow up with your mom and dad?
Actually, my mother died when I was 6 years old. And from there, I went to live with my father's grandmother. So that kind of was the beginning of a little dysfunction for me. So I was raised by my grandmother.
Okay, and what was that like being raised? Because I know I was raised by a little bit of my grandmother for some time. My grandmother was mean sometimes. Like my grandmother, she sent me outside to get the switch a few times. Like she did some. I know she violated me as a kid at some point, but I just wasn't able to prove it.
We say some of that shit was illegal.
Had to be illegal. Had to be.
Yeah, but no, it was cool growing up with my grandmother. I did miss my mother a lot. And my father was also absent because losing his wife made him feel like he had to get it for his kids, and him trying to get it made him absent. So I kind of lost both of my parents at the same time. That was difficult for me.
What about any brothers, sisters?
I have one younger sister. She thinks she's my older sister.
As she probably is.
Yeah.
The younger sister always got to be the older sister, so to speak.
Yeah, so I have one sibling.
And what has that been like for you, being able to be a leader for her?
Actually, because I started getting high when I was 14. So she was actually really the leader. Having substance abuse in the family, and it's familiar in my family, you know. But during that time, we separated. When I got clean and got myself together, it still was hard to rebuild the relationship. But right now, me and my sister tight, man. She's my girl.
How has substance abuse played a part in, I guess, you growing up? When did it become a part of your life?
Man, I started getting out when I was 14. 14 years old. It's the first time I sniffed coke at a Rick James concert. My boyfriend was a hustler.
I thought that was like the norm for just to keep when you go to a Rick James concert. I'm just thinking that you come in, you get your ticket, you get a line, and then everybody walk in. I just thought that was the way it went anyway.
But seriously, Swag, in my neighborhood or in any urban, I don't want to make that shit personal, right? In any urban neighborhood, we have the things we aspire to be. The drug dealers and the girlfriends of the drug dealers were like stars to us. You know what I mean? They drove nice cars. They had nice clothes. They didn't want for anything. That almost was, damn, that shit was just like, it was a part of life. It was a part of life. Even you was working real hard, coming home. We could see the people who worked hard, coming home, tired. And then we see the hustlers. Damn, they don't never look tired. They always look good. So it's kind of a regular part of life, but I started getting high when I was 14 years old. I continued to get high until I was 20 when I found out I was pregnant with my son. I stopped getting high. Got clean to have him. Started getting high again, and that's when my family from Baltimore snatched me. I got clean and stayed clean. But yeah, getting high really affects you because you become animalistic. There's a whole subculture in getting high. And so, peep this. How you wake up broke and get high all day long and still manage to get a chicken box of Pepsi and a pack of cigarettes. That's a brain that's a brain that's on some, you know what I mean? People get clean and can't even figure out how to get bus fare to go to a job interview.
Right.
So it's all about motivation. So that motivation, and so I think that there's some displacement when you get clean of finding something that motivates you that much.
Right.
So it was a bit of a struggle for me, but I got it together.
Yes. So at some point, you decided that you wanted to become a screenwriter. When did this start? I know that you used to do poems and stuff. How did poems kind of transition you into being a screenwriter?
Okay, so I'm gonna just give you a little bit before we get there.
Okay.
I get my shit together, I go on corporate America.
Okay.
Right? I go before a judge because I get clean and then I start hustling.
Mm-hmm.
I start hustling. I'm coming back from New York to Baltimore. I get popped, you know, and I go in front of this judge. She had to be an angel because she could have put me under the jail.
Right.
She gave me a sweet ass break, and she made me do community service in the courthouse. She gave me community after I did my time. She gave me community service in the courthouse.
In the courthouse.
And from there, I started working my way up through the corporate. Right. So I'm living my life now. I'm doing the whole legal everything. And I'm making good money. I'm making good legal money. I got 2 houses. I'm living my best life. In the crash of 2008, I lost everything. Everything. Man, it messed me up because we have a way of thinking that if we've been through something and we got through something, and we shouldn't have to go through anything else. That's just not how it works.
Right.
And so from 2008 to around 2014, I was just wallowing. You know what I'm saying? My car's getting repossessed, my house getting foreclosed, my 401k dwindling down. I'm pawning all my shit, you know, and I started beefing with God. I started beefing like, what's up? Like, seriously. And he answered me. And when he answered me, he told me to write. So let me just say, from a child, I always wanted to be in the arts. But, you know, I lost my mother. My father was hustling. I started getting high. So anything that we thought we wanted to do when we were small, if we reach any level of success in life, we really don't, or I didn't look back at my childhood dream. God never forgot that was my childhood dream. But he had to take everything from me. So in 2014, I beefed with him. He told me to write. So I was like, write what? A check, I hope. So sarcastically, I began to write. And I wrote poems to God. And God would answer them. And so, that's how I started. I started writing with poetry.
Well, I'm glad I got a chance to hear that story. So let's take it back a little bit. You got pregnant. And at that time, you said, you know what? It's time for me to give up substance abuse. What was it about that moment of having a child that gave you that sense of hope?
But the greatest love that I ever had was the love that I had for my mother. I didn't love anything the way I loved my mother until I found out I was pregnant. So it was the love, or even just thinking I could love something that much. So the death of my mother is like any other thing in black families. Okay, she passed away, but we got to keep it moving. I'm like, no. We don't get. I need some grief counseling. I need some. My family was like, get your mind right. And so I think that not just the death, but my inability to have my family recognize that I was truly traumatized by her death. So I was empty from the time that I found out I was pregnant. And that love motivated me to get clean. But now I got clean until I had him, but I was still in Harlem. I'm living with my grandmother. I go back out, man. I start getting high. And my people call my people, and they call these people. They say, yo, come and get her. My family from Baltimore physically like, get your ass in the car, man. Like that's how my family is. And took me to Baltimore. I got clean and came back and got my son, and I never looked back.
Laura Poindexter, y'all. Here we are in Atlanta. All right. Oh man.
Welcome to Atlanta.
Welcome to Atlanta. Welcome to Atlanta. This has been the home of a lot of filmmakers, screen directors, directors, people who love the industry, the film industry, music, TV, whatever the case may be. Why did you move here? Let's go there. Why did you move to Atlanta?
Well, the poetry started jumping off. I started getting gigs, hosting gigs and stuff like that, and they were in Atlanta. When I knew that I had to move because there was nothing in Baltimore for me. I knew that this thing that God had planted in me, I had to give birth to it. I could have went to LA, I could have went to New York because I got family in New York, or here. Los Angeles definitely is expensive. I didn't know anybody. You can get twisted. You know, no matter how tough you are. LA got something for that ass. So I was like, okay. And then going to New York, I didn't want to go there because I didn't want to be self-reliant on my people. They would have made it kind of comfortable for me. And so this is why I decided to come here. I had been here back and forth doing events. I knew a few people, and I knew that in terms of independent, whether it's film or music, independent creativity has always been bolstered or supported in the A. So that's why I made the decision to come here.
So now you're here in Atlanta. What was your first project here in Atlanta? Have you worked on any projects here in Atlanta?
Oh, I worked on so many projects here in Atlanta, but when I first came in, I had to get my feet wet. So I did a lot of extra roles. The first speaking role that I got, what's up, Bobby Huntley? Bobby, my boy. I saw an audition for the movie Charlie by Bobby Huntley. And I came in audition. Bobby gave me my first speaking role. And, you know, it took off from there. I've done Trigger Warning on Netflix with Killer Mike's. I've done a lot.
Too,
oh, I'm sorry. I need to be looking over here. I'm kind of like going back in my brain.
It's okay.
You know,
I was
going
saying
back in my brain. But yeah, I've done a lot of things, mostly independent. Netflix was my first major. Amazon Prime, telling stories. That was my first lead role. S.A. Brown. Shout out to S.A. Brown. And then I started doing some also behind the scenes stuff. So from a production side, because of my business experience, I was getting paid gigs to do production, but it wasn't production in the sense of these people wanted it to go out on a platform. They were like, this is what we want to do. It's private. And they hired me and I did the damn thing. So at this point, my IMDb looking kind of fat. You know, my IMDb looking kind of fat.
She said my IMDb is looking like, y'all make sure y'all go check her out. Lord Poindexter on the block. Hey, look, man, we're going to take a small break.
A little teeny break,
man. We're going to pay a little bit of bills, man. And when we come back, more on the block with Lord Poindexter, man.
Jus Swagg TV.
As an artist, we should reflect the time.
Why you so talented?
Cause I'm black.
Why you so amazing?
Cause I'm black.
It's really important that we build characters so that people understand their story matters.
2 Chainz and I both are just really into good food.
And when you know you are royalty, you will only aim in life to be royalty.
We're doing it right now. I don't give a damn what they say about me. Yes, I called your ass out. I know I shouldn't be saying this kind of.
Shout out the Hype Magazine Network.
Shout out to the Hype Magazine Network.
Hey, y'all, welcome back, man. Jus Swagg's TV, The Block, man. It's me, your boy, DJ Swagg, a.k.a. You know who I am, man. I am sitting here with the fabulous, fantastic, the GOAT herself, Lord Poindexter.
That's what's up.
Hey,
That's what's up.
all right?
Yeah.
So if you guys didn't catch the last segment, man, we were definitely getting some background on her and definitely catching up with where she is now. So now we are here in Atlanta. We're doing projects. We're getting bigger. The IMDb is popping, or IMDb is popping. All right. And people are you looking to do more stuff? What type of things are you looking to do more of? We have to. We gotta do that. All right, we have to. I have to do that.
Okay.
We're looking to do more things. What are you looking to do?
More things, but I'm okay. We always got to take it back.
Go ahead.
All right. So I've worked and I've looked at people. What I wanted to do, guys, is I wanted to look at people in the industry that I thought I could learn from. And so what I need everybody to understand is that you really have to do your research and look beyond social media. Man, that social media, man, that shit is fugazi, man. People just can do whatever they want to do. Nobody can monitor you. You know what I'm saying? You can show the best parts of your life. So we've done some projects, and all my projects are paid. People eat when they work with me. You understand? So that's how I was raised. That's how I come in. But I've done some projects with people, and they disrespect my money. You understand what I'm saying? And I pay the same money that Joe Blow paid. Joe Blow got a bigger name than mine, but Joe Blow shit look Gucci. Mine don't. So I'm not doing that no more. And I've come to the conclusion, honestly, seriously, that it's gotten to the point where I had to call people and say, the next time I spend my money, if people don't give me what I'm supposed to get, I'm going to get into. So I got to back out because I didn't come in here to live like that. So right now we currently taking bits and pieces of the first and second next assignment, and we're doing an expose. So we're going to be doing cameras rolling the expose. We're going to be telling the real deal, and we're going to be exposing some of the underbelly of independent filmmaking from a real deal perspective. That's the only project I'm working on in 2021, and right now I reached out to you and some other cast members and some celebs, but I'm going to do my award-winning screenplay, Choose This Day. You know, so
talk a little bit about that. Choose This Day.
Choose This Day is loosely based on the story of my life, a little bit of what you heard in the first part of The Block, and it went into film festival circulation in 2018. Between 2018 and 2020, it has amassed 8 awards, including me receiving the award for Screenwriter of the Year 2020. So with that being said, I'm ready to go into production, but I'm doing it altogether different. I can't give my money to any independent filmmakers. And I'm not saying there aren't any good independent filmmakers. I'm saying if you do what you did, you're gonna get what you got. And so I can't do what I did no more. I can't trust you with my paper, and I can't trust you with my baby. So
let me ask this: are you saying that as a foreigner here in the A, that there are filmmakers who don't live the standard, who treat people maybe from out of town differently? Do you think it's like that? Do you think it's out of towners, or do you think it's just a business?
No, I think that Atlanta has a lot on their shoulders because people come here to get their shit off, and people from here saying, y'all just coming down here doing what you want to do. So there are some people in Atlanta that can really help you shake and move. But they really have to be careful because just like me, they trusted somebody. So I'm not mad at the people who doing what they do, because there's some folk in Atlanta that's doing the damn thing. That's why everybody coming here. But it's hard to get to those people. Oh, you gotta kiss a lot of frogs before you get Prince Charming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So no, I'm not. It's not against the whole entire Atlanta, but there is a systemic problem within the independent filmmaking community. A lot of these cats is straight fugazi.
Wow. I'm guessing you're gonna talk about this somewhere.
Oh, on my film, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm naming names, dropping. They asked me if I'm lawyered up. I told people, but you asked me if I'm lawyered up for. You scared for me to tell the truth? Go tell them sorry ass people to stop fucking around with people's money. Excuse me, church people, because you know some church people could look at this. Go tell the people that's out there bull crapping around, don't know what they doing, faking it, taking people. Go tell them to stop doing. Don't tell me to be scared to tell them. I'm gonna tell my truth, and it's gonna happen however it's gonna happen. And yes, I'm lawyered up.
Lord Poindexter, y'all. Hey, look, let's talk about MJ on Network.
Moving right along.
Moving right along. All right, let's get into this MJ on legacy. Taking the lead in 2021. All right, let's talk about this and this cover. What is this?
Yo, man, MJ on the MJ on Network. You can see her right now on Roku. That's by Mariah Jarrito. And so I met her when I got the cover of Jarrito magazine in July. I did the cover solo. And another African-American female trying to make moves, has had the same experience that I just talked about. So she was like, I'm going to do it by myself. That's what she did. She launched her Roku channel, and this Legacy magazine is the first and only magazine that will ever be put out under Legacy until she makes an announcement. So if you ain't on this cover, you ain't gonna never be on this cover until she about to do what she do. But inside the magazine are a lot of movers and shakers in the Atlanta area. And I gotta shout out my cameraman, my BTS man right
Yes.
here. And
Yes.
King,
Shout out to
yes,
you.
he's here in
Yeah.
the building. This is his first cover. I met him on the set of Homecoming.
Okay.
Got shout out to Coco Studios. He was doing his thing. And I told him, I said, yo, if you rock with me, you gonna eat. King, did I lie to you, shorty? Did I lie to you? So he eating and he got this cover, and I'm just really excited to be on the cover. And it basically says Forerunners taking the lead in 2021 by building our own legacy. Unfortunately, I've come to the conclusion that I can't really mess with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
The opportunities that I have to be actually placed at a higher level. Now, when I get to this higher level, I'm gonna be talking less and listening more.
What does it mean for you being an, I guess you would say, an independent, stepping into a lot of rooms where people may misunderestimate you and what you know, being a female in the industry? You know what I'm saying? What has that been like for you, being in some of these male-dominated sports?
It's very difficult. It's very difficult, not just for me, for a lot of women. I have one woman filmmaker, J Nan, shout out to her. She's doing 3301. That's why she calls herself J, J-A-Y. Because from the onset, you don't know whether she's a fit. It is serious. And even working with other females, I've seen how they work. Like, they doing everything. And even if they have a crew, they like constantly behind them. So it is very, very difficult. And in terms of the underestimating, the best thing you could ever do is underestimate. That's the best thing you could ever do is underestimate. I'm not really here to actually say, look at me and woo, woo, woo. I'm here to make good projects and get a check that I can live off of and that my team can live off of. That's what I'm here to do. Those are my goals and objectives. I'm not here to just make movies and be on red carpets. This shit ain't no hobby for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's what it is.
All right. Well, we all talk a lot about health and things like that. You've just gotten over COVID. What was that like for you, going through COVID?
I had the vid, shorty. I had the vid.
What was it like? What was it like going through that scary process and the stigma that they put on the virus? You know what I'm saying? People not feeling like they're gonna get the help or get the vaccine or something's gonna happen to them. People have been watching their people pass away and things.
Yeah.
What was it like for you getting the diagnosis, and what was the process like going through it?
Okay, so I really think, y'all, that I had COVID for about a week before I lost my taste buds. So during that week, I had very minimal to no symptoms. The media needs to talk about the lesser symptoms, because if we're only looking for fever or respiratory, or we're looking for these severe symptoms, we're not on point. And it wasn't until I lost my taste buds, I was like, damn, I
can't taste no chicken.
Yo,
I can't taste it.
Swag. I went into the kitchen. I was tasting hot sauce, vinegar, pickle juice. Like, I was like, damn. So I quarantined myself, and it was 3 days before I could get a rapid test. I go get the rapid test, and they don't longer do the ones that go all the way back. So, but it was the swab.
That hurts.
Yeah, so I go and do it. They say, wait 20 minutes. They say, okay, you got the Rona. They say they're going to quarantine me for 10 days. Now I'm saying, I thought it was 14. Now they quarantine me for 10 days. Now watch this. Because it's so confusing. All this information, it's so confusing, right? So I'm confused. So I said, well, I'm thinking the lady going to tell me, y'all, as soon as you're over your quarantine, Miss Poindexter, you need to come back and read it. She said to me, just like this. You can come back after 10 days if you want to.
If I want to.
What? She said because you can test positive for up to 30 days after your first positive. So does that mean that I'm contagious 30 days? They not giving you no.
What?
So I'm like, oh, I'll be back here in 10 days.
Yeah.
So I went back on that 10th day. I tested negative, and I've decided that I'm just going to get testing. But what changed for me is that during that time, I was moving. I didn't buy anything in my home. My relationship with money is different. So I buy everything secondhand.
Right.
When you buy things secondhand, people want cash. I dealt with the most cash that I had ever dealt with probably in years. Cash. When you buy something out somebody's basement or off their lawn, they want cash. They don't want.
Yeah.
That was something that changed for me, and I did the live about the mask. If you wear a cloth mask, don't wear it over and over again. If you wear a cloth mask, Lysol it, put it up, change a cloth mask. That's the only thing that I think could have changed, but I really don't know. But for me, very minimal symptoms. There is a headache associated with COVID that is still lingering with me, and it makes you feel very, very tired. Like, you can feel your body fighting it, even with minimal symptoms. But yeah, but I mean, the fact that I got it and was able to get over it, thank you, my body. But that has a lot to do with how I live on a regular in terms of how I eat and how I live. So, yeah.
So Laura Poindexter stepping into 2021. This year has been, I guess, a great start for you. I've watched some things happen over the past year, from writing what you've written and movies produced, me being in those.
You've been on set, you've been location for us.
Jurito magazine, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you for helping me out with that as well. You know, I've watched you help a lot of people. What are you finding yourself getting in return from helping people?
So people need to understand and discover that the art of giving is not to expect anything in return. But let me pause that. Not to expect anything in return. But I tell people all the time, you need to take time and measure who you're about. If you have that kind of giving spirit, measure who you're giving it to. Those are the stories you get to tell when you're sitting down, when you've reached the epitome of success. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to have these trials and tribulations, and you got to be able to accept your failures like your successes. And that's one thing. We love success. Oh, you see me, woo, woo, woo. And then when shit failed or nobody see you ducking and ducking, is a part of the process. So just stick to your process. Don't be afraid to say no to people. You know what I'm saying? I think that's one of the problems that we have. You know what I'm saying? This ain't about nobody's feelings. I promise you, it ain't personal. It's just business. You know what I mean? So stick to your plan. Don't be afraid to say no. And everybody that you think's supposed to be coming with you.
Thank you so much.
I love you. Thank you. You know you my boo.
You mine too. All right. Any last shout outs? Anybody else that you out there that you would love to just, send a shout out to?
Yo, just shout out to everybody who's been in my corner, all my supporters, my followers or whatever. Yo, hit me up at Unshakable Faith Productions, just the way it is. Unshakable Faith Productions at gmail.com if you're looking for somebody to do screenwriting, show running, production, direction. No, people, I do not work for free. This year coming out, My Brother's Keeper coming out. Out on a Limb coming out. Shout out to that. Homecoming coming out. So all the people I worked with last year, I'm looking forward to those projects coming out. This year, cameras rolling. The expose. We getting ready to talk about people. Yeah, we dropping names. Yeah. So shout out to April Morrison Productions and my family, Harlem Snob. I got a shout out to him, and yo, just holla at me and holla at my boy, Jus Swagg on the block. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Laura, it has definitely been a pleasure. I don't know what's kept us from this interview, but I'm glad we had it.
I'm so happy.
You are so awesome, man. Y'all continue to follow Laura Poindexter, Soul Writer #1. All right. And make sure y'all definitely stay tuned for all of the things she's got planned. I'm telling you, this woman is phenomenal. Any castings coming up? Can people?
Actually, once we do, because I send out the casting to y'all. So for Choose This Day, we are 90% cast, and that's including our celebrities. But my thought is, I want local Atlanta talent to have that intimate celebrity exchange. And so we will be doing a casting for the remainder of the roles once we lock in our celebrity cast. So I'll be letting everybody know about that coming up. And it's paid. It's paid.
Hey, I know y'all love hearing that, man. Hey, Jus Swagg TV, The Block. I am DJ Swagg, and this is Laura Poindexter. This is the block, and don't forget,
That's what's up.
take the block with you.
Everybody, you already know what it is. It's your girl, Laura, the soul writer, Poindexter, and I've been hanging out on the block with my man, Jus Swagg. Well, I couldn't get here for nothing in the world. I got here, and it's phenomenal. So y'all need to check out my interview on the block. I'm Laura, the soul writer, Poindexter, actress, producer, director, screenwriter. I do it all. Jus Swagg TV, the block.
Dj Swagg, swag, 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 swag. Yeah. Jus Swagg TV.